The game that was supposed to be a DLC to Valhalla, but now it's a standalone game, is finally here. Assassin's Creed Mirage just came out recently, and it's supposed to be the assassin game that brings the series back to its roots. I'd like to say they accomplished that, while keeping a few minor things that the new Assassin's Creeds have. Allow me to explain why I thought Mirage did a successful job in going back to their roots and what makes them assassins. First off, the combat isn't steering you into the brute force direction like Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla does. What I mean by this is that in those games, if you choose to go with the stealthy approach, it doesn't really feel like you're playing the game right, like how it was meant to be played. You know what I mean? Like, what Greek, Viking, or Egyptian warriors do you see stalking from the shadows and assassinating their targets? Especially with the raids Valhalla has and the conquest battles Odyssey has. Not very sneaky if you ask me. But in Mirage, the game specifically tells you, try not to get surrounded because Basim isn't that type of warrior. So in this game, you have to play your cards right and be strategic. That means relying on parrying, dodging, tools, and even running when in danger. Just like in Assassin's Creed 1 and 2.
Not getting through.
Another thing that was similar to the first game is that after killing each main specific target in a sequence and reporting back to the Bureau, you would be promoted and get a new weapon or tool to use in your inventory. And that's sort of the same thing that Mirage gives us. But instead of weapons and tools, you'll only get talismans that you can equip to your outfit that provides no benefits other than cosmetic options if you want to flash your rank to the world. I honestly would have liked if talismans had a special trait you get once equipping them, but if it did, I feel like it would spark an outrage, cause this would go against Ubisoft's word about going back to their roots. So I understand why they didn't give talismans traits. I'm just saying, talismans felt pretty unnecessary as an equipment slot.
The course is clear.
Now, they did change some things from the new Assassin's Creed games, and that's removing leveling and replacing them with rank suggestions. What that means is that neither you or enemies you encounter will have levels, but instead will have ranks determining how strong you are compared to them. And to be honest, I didn't notice a difference in ranks. They all felt the same and got assassinated the same way, in one shot. I didn't necessarily like that, because if all it takes is one stab to kill all the enemies, and they're all quote unquote master rank, and you're only an initiate, one stab killing these guys, it defeats the purpose of having that rank suggestion feature, in my opinion. Oh, also, Ubisoft removed the shield secondary weapon. Basim carries a knife as his secondary, which he primarily uses to parry and attack his foes, which is pretty cool.
Crimes. God forgive me, but there are times when violence is the only course.
You know not what you do.
Going to cut right open.
Besides how Mirage went back to their roots, I did have some other likes about the game overall. To start off, pickpocketing is different and challenging now. There's now a minigame that requires you to successfully hit the pickpocket button again in the colored area. Doing so will determine whether you successfully stole or miserably failed. I found this pretty cool and unique. It made pickpocketing more skill-based, stressful, and different opposed to how easy it was to steal in previous Assassin's Creed games.
And you are?
Basim, friend to Noor. Let us save the details for another time. We need to get you out of here.
I also really liked enhancing tools and putting extra traits / properties to the different tools you carry. It was nice to have that option to further expand your tools for assassinating. The idea of favor tokens was cool. You can use them to bribe poets, merchants, hire sell swords, decrease the price of items merchants sell, and even open certain specific chests to get an abundance of materials you can then use to upgrade your tools, weapons, and outfits. It was a cool feature they added with this one.
You think your cruelty's well hidden, Al-Ghul. For you chose those with little voice, whose cries you knew would go unheard. They dug at your bidding, died at your hand, and were cast away like so much refuse. You prefer your victims chained and starved. It is time you faced a man unbound.
At first, I didn't really care for the story. It didn't really interest me in the slightest, simply because I didn't feel emotionally connected with Basim's journey from common street thief turned into master assassin. Until the very end of the game, where everything starts to fit into the puzzle and you get mind blown about the turn of events and find out who or what Basim actually is. Not gonna lie, it got me hyped figuring out the mystery surrounding him. And that's my review on Assassin's Creed Mirage. In terms of if this game is worth it or not, I'd say if you played Valhalla and the character of Basim intrigued you, then his origin story might interest you more. Or if you want to go back to being an actual assassin, then this game will make you feel like you're getting the job done the right way. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any recommendations on what game I should review next, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Ah!